Reality Steve says Tayshia and Kaitlyn will be hosting Michelle Young's season of The Bachelorette. Hey guys, welcome back to another shared news from home. We have all the details on this potentially major update for Michelle's season. But before we get into it, if you're new here, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell so you don't miss out on any future videos. As always, I am your host, Fiona Zaring, joined by the wonderful Zachary Reality. Zachary, I know this is such huge news. Let's just dive right into it. Since Chris Harrison stepped away from the Bachelor franchise, we have still had so many questions, you guys. Of course, one of the major ones being who is going to host Michelle's season of The Bachelorette. And if Reality Steve has his facts right, it looks like it's going to be Tayshia and Kaitlyn once again. He tweeted, Kaitlyn and Tayshia will be returning to co-host Michelle's season of The Bachelorette when it begins filming later this month. I'll have some filming updates, locations, and timelines in my column on Tuesday. So, Zachary, assuming he's right, are we excited? Are we disappointed? Were you expecting this? How are you feeling?
You know, I kind of was expecting this because I feel like everyone knew that if they did a good job, it would only make sense that they would also host Michelle's season since they're doing a great job hosting Katie's season. My one issue with Kaitlyn and Tayshia is that sometimes they come in together to be like, this is the final rose of the night, or this is the first impression rose, and only one of them speaks, and then the other one is just kind of standing there awkwardly. So I feel like if they can just take turns going in, like individually, then it would work out a lot better. So maybe they'll learn those tips and tricks for Michelle's season. But other than that, I think they're doing a great job. I think it's a really safe choice for the franchise because you have two very likable, very different leads. You're going to have that girl power situation going on. So I'm totally here for this. I just think they need to kind of learn a little bit more singular shots.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting because, of course, there were so many different reactions when they were even announced initially for Katie's season. And I do think that it feels like each week they are winning more and more people over. And I'm with you. Overall, they have done a great job. So it does kind of feel like it makes sense. It's just we've been held in suspense for so long, and it does really feel like anything is possible at this point for the franchise. So now that it's starting to feel like it's definitely going to be the two of them, it's going to be interesting to see what happens next. What is kind of an interesting addition to this news is a reporter from Variety actually shared Reality Steve's tweet, and they added to it saying, quote, I've reported in many of my Bachelorette stories over the past month that Tayshia and Kaitlyn would more than likely be back for Michelle's season. But as of this moment, no contracts have been signed. My sources say negotiations with Tasha and Kaitlyn are ongoing, no done deal. So, of course, what I kind of think is interesting here is we know Steve has some incredible sources. We know a place like Variety is going to be very dialed in. They're, of course, going to have really great sources. And at the end of the day, they're both basically saying the same thing, right? It sounds like an announcement at this point is sort of inevitable. It's just a question of when, are those contracts being finalized? Have they reached that official agreement? But it's definitely heading in the direction of more Kaitlyn and more Tayshia. Now that we've seen what they can do, and a lot of fans are into it, do you think this upcoming announcement, Zachary, could be more of a permanent fashion, like Kaitlyn and Tayshia will be the Bachelorette host? Or do we still think they're going to keep it totally to Michelle's season, right? Season by season basis, leaving the door open down the line for another curveball. What are your thoughts?
I think that they're just going to be hosting Michelle's season. I think that the Bachelor franchise is going to be doing season by season hosting. It also just brings a lot more exposure to the show. A lot of people are now talking about the host situation. It's getting people talking about the Bachelor franchise more now than ever. So I almost think it's genius that they keep on bringing in new hosts each year. We know that someone new is going to be hosting Bachelor in Paradise, the celebrity host, then Wells Adams. It's like a whole new discussion for the franchise. Who's going to be hosting? I don't think Chris Harrison is replaceable overnight, and clearly he's not because they haven't found someone to replace him. overnight. So I think that they're trying to just feel out different hosts, for the matter of the time being until it's the right time. And I don't think that Kaitlyn and Tayshia are going to be hosting the next season of The Bachelor, but I could see them hosting the next few Bachelorettes for the next couple of years if they're down with that, because it is just a few months out of the year. I don't think that Tayshia and Kaitlyn are looking for a full-time year-round job. I love seeing them host The Bachelorette, and I do think that we will get a new host for The Bachelor.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you. I definitely think that at the end of the day, the conversations surrounding The Bachelor, The Bachelorette, Paradise, who's going to be in the cast, who's going to be the next lead, and now who's going to be the host definitely adds so much more hype to the show. So it's going to be interesting to see how long they continue with this model of just us constantly having question marks. Separate from the Kaitlyn and Tayshia update, fans also noticed that in Steve's tweet, he specifically mentioned locations, plural, for Michelle's season that he's going to be giving us some details on. So, Zachary, I'm kind of curious here. Do we think that with this locations nod he just said, we're going to see a season much more like the pre-pandemic Bachelorette seasons for Michelle's? Is hers going to kind of get us back to normal? What are your thoughts?
When I saw this, my first thought was, oh my God, are they going back to the Bachelor Mansion? I don't know about you, Fiona, but I miss the Bachelor Mansion, the pool, all the rooms. So I hope that they can possibly go back to filming at the Bachelor Mansion. But if not, COVID has kind of changed a little bit. There's less restrictions. Masks are no longer required. We can start traveling out of the country. We can start traveling in the country a lot more in general and going to public settings. The Bachelor has been secluded the past 3 seasons in Palm Springs, in Pennsylvania, now in New Mexico. And The Bachelor is known for traveling all around the world on the most luxurious trips. So I think that this will bring a lot more excitement to the show if they can start traveling a little bit more and we can see them going on dates in different environments, because it does feel like my girl Katie is stuck in New Mexico doing the same things at the same lake and the same mountain. So I think Michelle's season could be a lot more exciting. We do have Bachelor in Paradise that is now filmed in Mexico. They already filmed it. So now they already kind of tested the waters with flying different contestants out. So I think that it could be a lot more of an exciting season once you add that travel element to it. What do you think about that?
No, I totally agree with you. And I mean, let's face it, now that people are vaccinated, right, there is a way to follow protocols and keep people safe, but not be in as locked down of a bubble as they, of course, had to for the Tayshia and Claire season, the Matt season, like you mentioned, Katie. So I think it'll be interesting. I have a feeling Michelle's season might feel a little bit like a hybrid, right? Maybe they're not jet setting around the world as much as we're used to, but maybe we're back to the mansion, like you mentioned. Maybe we can, incorporate some hometowns that are actually in people's hometowns and feel a little bit more like the regular show. So it's going to be a very exciting season for, of course, so many reasons. We haven't even mentioned how much we love Michelle. I mean, I'm excited just to see her. You guys, that is everything we have to share with you for now. We, of course, want to know your thoughts on Steve's tweet. Do you believe him? Do you agree with this? Let us know down in the comments. And if you are not already subscribed to our channel, make sure you do. Make sure you ring the bell so you don't miss out on any future Bachelorette updates. As always, I'm your host, Fiona Zaring, joined by the wonderful Zachary Reality. If you want to come say hi, check out our socials. They are on the screen right now. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you next time. Bye.
Bye.